Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of What's in Theaters, a show where we talk about movies, movie news, and do some trailer reaction. So, my review of Top Gun Maverick. This movie was so stupid entertaining. I mean, I heard good things about it, but I was like, oh, okay, we'll check it out. It was far better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I get to the theater and the theater was packed. Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend, but you could see there was a very wide age demographic. You could tell it's people who grew up with the original Top Gun Maverick because I could tell they're, quite a few years older than me. And it was so cool. It's like, man, 36 years and you're still back to the theater to go see Tom Cruise again. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it's Tom Cruise who gets called back to duty, but not to be in the fighter jets. They need his expertise, his real world expertise to teach the new generation how to do a very, very dangerous mission. So Tom Cruise is in the bar and you can start getting introduced to new recruits like, oh, what up, Hangman? Oh, here's Bagman, here's Bob, and uh, Payback, and blah 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 blah, and all these characters you get introduced, and Tom Cruise is just kind of waiting on the side. They don't notice him, but he's just observing. And then you hear Rooster, and it kind of catches his ear, and you could see the look of Miles Teller, and goes, "Oh, it's Goose's son," and you could feel like the weight of the pressure already on Tom Cruise, like the burden of letting Rooster down and the burden of trying to protect Rooster. Like, I can't let what happened to your father happen to you. It just can't happen. So they all get together at the base, and Tom Cruise walks up, and everyone's like, "Oh crap, that's Maverick." And so he's like, "Hey, whatever you knew, forget about it. This book learning you do means nothing in a real world dogfight. You don't think, you act." And so all the new kids are like, "Whatever, old man. Like, what do you know? Blah 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 blah." And Tom Cruise takes these fools to school. I mean, he embarrasses the hell out of them, and it is so funny. It's like, yeah, you may have young blood, but I got experience. That's what it is, man. And through Tom Cruise's teaching the new cadets or the new Top Gun pilots, they grow a respect for him. Like, all right, he knows some stuff. Like, he knows what he's doing. So, and then Tom Cruise tries to help Rooster. Like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, you know why I do these things? Because I need to protect you. And Rooster's like, fuck you, screw you, you killed my dad. Blah 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 blah. And if you haven't seen the original, they splice in clips from the original Top Gun, so you don't feel lost. Like, oh, what's this mean? And what's this relationship? And what's Iceman to Maverick? And they splice it in with the movie, which is really smart because it's very quick, so you can kind of fill in the gaps. So as Tom Cruise is like, hey, this is our mission. We gotta weave through these terrains to take out this uranium plant. It's two miracles. We got to hit this missile in this little 9-foot box, and then the other crew behind us has to hit the missiles in the uranium plant to blow it up. He's like, you're going to weave through these hills without hitting, I had to look this up, without activating these surface to air missiles that are going to knock you out in one shot. Then you got to go down this mountain. It almost kind of looks like a volcano in a way without the lava. Just shoot right back up, and everyone's like, what do you mean we have to do this? Like, this is impossible. And so Tom Cruise eventually, he kind of gets kicked out, like, no, you're making this from the higher ups. Like, no, you're making this possible. So then the higher ups go, now we're upping the time you have to do it. Instead of 2 minutes, you can do it 4 minutes. And even the crew's like, but that's going to give our enemies time to get their fighter jets and knock us out. Like, you're giving us higher ground clearance that's going to activate the surface air missiles. And this ping starts happening on this map, and everyone starts looking at it, and it's Tom Cruise just showing it can be done. Boom. Yes, I know it sounds like a little 7-year-old. And everyone's watching it on like a little digital map. He did it. He did the impossible. It's not that he He told us to do it. He showed us it can be done. Because it's one thing, it's kind of like the difference between a boss and a leader. It's like a boss is like, do this, but a leader will do it with you and show you the way. And so that gave a lot of good morale to the crew. Like, all right, it can be done. It's going to be hard, but it can be done. And after this is where it really picks up because so before that, before they go to the mission, you get to see Val Kilmer's Iceman. And they do in the movie kind of not really explain, but they do acknowledge Val Kilmer's illness. So if you haven't seen, I think it's Val on Amazon Prime Video, go check that out. So, I think it's like throat cancer or something, but it's almost damn near impossible for him to speak. And Maverick and Iceman have a very touching, very sweet moment. It's not a very long moment, and it's not dragged out. It's just one moment, and it's like, oh, that's so sweet. And it was very nice. It's very respectful, given Val's condition, and it was just good to see him. And so they go to the mission. Tom Cruise. Okay, so they finish the mission, but eventually, because the enemies have these 5th gen fighters and the dogfights in this film, oh, holy crap. I mean, to have the cameras in the fighter jets, and it's like the camera now is how it's facing me, and then the background would be all the other fighter jets. Beautiful. It looks so amazing. And so eventually something happens. Tom Cruise, plane gets out of commission. I don't want to give too many spoilers, although I'm kind of giving away the movie in a way, but but it's good to see it was Maverick and Rooster. They eventually form like a bond and they really work with each other despite Rooster's apprehension to Maverick because the way he kind of screwed him over in a way I don't want to say, but then resentment he has in his father. But you could feel the weight and the pressure of Tom Cruise going like, I can't have happen to you what happened to your father. Like, I can't have that happen. And it's very well played. Some kind of jerking moments too. It was like, ooh, back to tears. Who's cutting onions in here? But it was a fantastic film. It really was. And it was a damn good time in theaters. It's about 2 hours, but it was a very tight and efficient 2 hours. So that's my review of Top Gun Maverick. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've seen it. And hey, hopefully they make a third because this was a damn good, entertaining film. Anyways, you take care and you take it easy.